Is hate speech free speech? Let's see what King James has to say about this.
Oh, King James.
He was referring to Elon Musk. He's like, I don't know Elon Musk, and to be honest, I could care less who owns Twitter. But I will say that if this is true, I hope he and his people take this very seriously because this is scary as ever. So many damn unfit people saying hate speech is free speech. And apparently the N-word usage was through the roof once Elon took over.
I wonder if this is from Caucasians or if it's from African Americans or Canadians.
That's a good question.
I'm actually pretty curious if anyone did that analysis.
Right.
Because obviously if it's free to use, that's a word that's readily used in the black community. So they would obviously be using it without it being filtered. So I wonder what makes up most of that stat.
Yeah, I was curious too. I'm remembering now that we talked about this last week as well. But I really was curious from your perspective what your thoughts were on that.
On free speech versus hate speech?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I believe in a capitalist society. So it's very interesting to me. I don't take that much offense to the word, like to the word. If someone was trying to diss me, be like, "Hey, N-word," I'd be like, "Okay."
All right.
Okay, I still have like money, I guess.
Yeah.
but
Doesn't affect me.
Yeah, but if you believe in capitalism, you have to believe that the society in which you're in will filter these people out, right? If people are racist and they own a store in 2022, that store probably won't do well and it will filter out. So the same thing happens with these comments. Like, I'm not too... Is it hate speech? Then we get into everything else. Contacts. Is just because you're not a black person who say the N-word, is that hate speech? What about other cultures? What's the other words that people are using? Is that hate speech? Is that hate speech if you use it against each other? Is it? You start getting into all of that if you truly consider what hate speech is. I personally believe that free speech is a hate speech and might be, like, yes, what you say might be discriminatory. You might just use it in a bad way. So yes, in a sense, but I do believe that you have your freedom to do that, and you will suffer, and there's consequences to your own actions in a society. So
totally. No, I got you. I actually am curious. We're getting into muddy waters here, but I just genuinely curious because when I have you, I look at different communities that may have been mistreated over the years. Obviously, the black community, it's huge. But I find with the black community, the N-word is the one that, like, obviously is something that really just boils people to the core. Versus there are other kind of slurs are used in other communities that they're kind of like whatever too.
Yeah.
What do you think that's about? Like, what makes it different for the black community versus other communities?
I don't know, man. Like, sometimes you just grab onto something. I feel like it's just one of the things that we grabbed onto. Like, there's a lot of things that other communities get offensive over, and we just chose a word, I guess. I'm not sure why, especially since the black community uses it all the time. I'm not sure why people get so. I mean, I guess obviously it's because of the the historical importance of the word.
Right.
But at this point, we use it all the time. Other races can't use it, apparently. It's definitely interesting to me. It's either no one uses it and we just forget it, or everyone can use it. This whole thing that, okay, now you're picking and choosing. Well, I'm 1/8 black. I can say it. Right. It's like, I don't know. Just
I have a black friend.
Hey, great-great-grandmother was half black. I mean, can he say it? He does have, pretty recently, he does have black in his it's just weird. Essentially what it is, hey, anyone with dark skin can say this word pretty much, who's not like, anyone who's dark skin who's black and talks black. Like they're from Africa or black, they can say it, and that's that. I don't like subscribing to that. I don't say it myself. I don't like subscribing to that, but I mean, it's so embedded in the culture. I don't think it's ever going to change.
Right.
It is what it is. And for anyone who says like, oh, well, it's in our culture because, that's what the executives want. I was like, what do you like? don't listen to it. I don't know. I do feel like we play victim a bit, and like I said, we say it all the time, and I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I can see why people don't use it. But it's kind of funny because I work with a lot of older people who were actually involved in a lot of the marches in Nova Scotia and who did a lot of that activism stuff back in the day, and they don't like saying it. And I find people who are involved in activism in that sense from that generation don't like saying it either. But once again, it's so ingrained in the culture now. I can see it, but
so
I don't know why it's that word.
You do bring up a great point, though, because I know, like, I've had the pleasure of having a few friends over the years who are Black and who were into the activism side of things, and I've caught that trend too, is they would never say it either.
No, unless you really, really, really want to make a power statement,
right? Power move out here.
Yeah, sometimes it can be very powerful if you use it, even like in speeches and whatnot. But yeah, like most people who are into that stuff don't use it because the importance of it,
right,
and the significance of it. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
That makes sense. I got you.